founder of Red Pencil Group, and I'm married now for 9 years, and I've got 4 kids. I've got 3 beautiful daughters and a handsome son, and yeah, that's me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Salome, as it was said, and I got a name from this partnership, Queen Latifah, and I associate with it. I came into this partnership through the introduction of House Baby. I call her House Baby. She just picked me up and she was like, there is this thing I want to in. The first thing, if you live in my environment where I'm working, the first thing that you think of is money for your school. And I was like, whoa, sponsorship partner, he'll give us money, I'm going. I didn't think of other things because the background of my school, it's terrible. When I got there, I was like Jerry said, what am I doing here? How did I apply? Everything was wrong, the infrastructure, everything. But I was there, I was stuck there, and as a fighter, I thought I will fight it. Then I met this man. and we clicked. Day one, when they introduced me to him, it was like, you. Day one, partner, you're mine, I'm yours. And the fire started. And when we look at our school, it was like, hey, there's a lot that needs to be done. But just to say, I'm a mother of 2. One is up there, one is I'm with. And my journey with PFP was a roller coaster. It will unfold as we go on.
Yeah, and how I actually came into PFP was that I heard about Partners for Possibility, or rather Symphonia, in 2013, just as soon as I started Red Pencil Group and I was leaving the banking sector. And I had always been interested in knowing what this is all about. And when it came to me, I don't remember how it happened, but eventually Nadia, who left, came to my office and they were talking to me about this. I was like, no, I know what you guys are talking about, but I want to know more, I want to learn, and so forth. And eventually I came on board, and it was so beautiful how Salome and I were brought together, and we just clicked. And for us and for myself, this has actually been a life-changing journey, in a sense that through the challenges that we faced as a team, and challenges that we individually faced, it has essentially made us to become stronger people in life. And I should say that when we started dealing with the issues in the school environment, which basically speaks to the partnership in education, this is where we are, we felt that there's a lot that we need to do, but because Salome and I clicked from the onset, we were approximately 3 to 4 months ahead of what we were supposed to do in the first 2 months. And in that, I then got to realize at a later stage why that actually happened. Because post that, we had things that we had to deal with that were very personal. And that, in essence, led us to not be as productive as we would have wanted to be. And we perhaps would have been 1.5 years ahead of the time that we had essentially looked at. Now, our school, we took a bird's eye view. General, you will probably relate to this. This is Bokamoso High School. It's situated in Stinkwater, which is north of Pretoria, 57 kilometers to be exact. North of Pretoria. It's in a poor community, and it's poor on the basis that sometimes as people we don't really see the value of what we have until somebody comes and shows you the true value of the environment that you're in. I would say it's a poor environment on the basis of lack of job opportunities and so forth, but people there do have skills. They've got wealth of knowledge, but it's not being properly applied. They've got land and it's not properly used, and so forth. And some of the families of the children in the school, they either child-headed homes and or are prone to other things which we will cover.
Yeah, when you look at the school, the structure, the GDA has done nothing to the school. All the Department of Education, sorry for acronyms, and the community decided to build their own school. Now, when they build their own school, it means they don't use plans. And if they don't use plans, it means the structure itself, it can collapse anytime. And we are standing on a time bomb as I'm speaking now. Nothing's been done. Like Jerry was saying, are you going to Panyaza tomorrow? I said, I'm going. And he was like, why are you going there? What is he doing for your school when you look at our school? So being in this partnership, it was like, with whatever you have, focus on that silver line. Now the silver line is Kamu came along with the silver line. And when you look at our problems, now our problem was enrollment. Our problem was learners who were demotivated. Our problem was teachers who were demotivated. If you come motivated into a crowd of demotivated people, they pull you down. And when you pull you down, you need somebody, a sound board. This is my sound board. So this is the infrastructure, that's how it is, and we're working around it, trying to make education to come out of that demotivating environment.
And well, in terms of the school, I mean, first time I went into Bokamoso, one thing that I saw was between the word Bokamoso, there's my name, Gamu. But nonetheless, I got to see the discipline, in a sense that when you walk into a school and you note the cleanliness of the environment, you note that the stoops are shining bright, and you can literally hear a penny drop, and the children are so respectful. And I got a sense that it was a school that was well run, well managed, and she probably was the general there, So in essence, I got a sense of fulfillment when it came to discipline, and it never became an issue. So some of the challenges that we actually face through the community that the school is situated in is the lack of parental involvement.
Yeah, when you look at the lack of parental involvement, it's like parents, they are youngsters who are focused on something else, not education. If you call them to say, we need to discuss education matters with you, they'll be like, I'm not a teacher. Why can't you solve it? Why can't you solve the child? Because they are in your responsibility, not mine. If a child is not at school for a week, if you try and find out, parents don't know, parents don't even have an idea of what is going on. Parents don't even know which grade is the child. And when you look at that situation, we had to work, myself and Kamu, to enlist parents to come in so that they realize their responsibility as parents in that situation. So that problem is being addressed. Our meetings, 100% they attend, they have a clue, and we advise them as to, even if you don't know maths, this is what you can check from your child's learner book and try and come for information. So that problem has been solved.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the major issues is that a school becomes a drop-off zone where learners are dropping off their problems for you to deal with. So we try to move away from that effect and have more parental involvement. Then from there, the second one is the lack of community involvement, which actually leads to vandalism and communities fighting for work within the school environment. Whereas we would want people to be involved in trying to grow and protect the school and ensure that the school is part of a community and not a community part of the school. So in that way, we have had challenges with trying to ensure that we involve the entire community, and that is why some of our programs that we were supposed to run were stalled because the community was literally not in support of what we want to achieve.
I think the humble background of the community, because most people are unemployed. Whenever they see a project in the school, they want some stake into it. As to saying, if you produce a tower, Telkom is producing a tower, it simply means the community must benefit. So you find that improvement is stalled by the community that is used to be given things, not to work using their hands. So this is still a challenge, but we are busy addressing it as we're going forward with the project of fund run and all that, so that we make the community aware that with this school, they can produce leaders who can come back and plow back into the community.
Now, when it comes to this substance abuse, The school is situated less than a kilometer where there is a huge bottle store / nightclub, or however you want to see it, and this has led to learners, not attending class or running away from Saturday schools where we are actually trying to improve their lives. And sometimes when you speak to the learners, you get a sense that they hear you, but they don't really understand you, on the basis that understanding would enable them to take action, but they rather just hear you and that's the end of it. So in essence, substance abuse, when it comes to nyaupe, cocaine, and a whole lot of other things, are actually demoralizing what we are actually trying to achieve as a school.
Yeah, this is what caused my enrollment to go down, because when I got there, I had a lot of alcoholics, I have a lot of drug dealers, I had a lot of learners who were overage, who were using substance abuse. So I had to become an HOD. As a principal, you're not supposed to expel learners, but I couldn't wait for him to expel. I expelled them, and I ended up having a lower enrollment, which affected my results at the end of the day. And as George was saying, if you get lower learners, as a principal, your level is also downgraded. But at least I had to delay them. It is not yet downgraded. Fortunately, when we go further, you'll hear why. So this is a problem that was severe, but now it has minimized in a sense that we've involved the subs, and we've involved also the community leaders who are assisting in that sense.
Sugar daddies. It is a reality. Some of the girl learners would rather spend time with older men that would give them money for whatever reason, whether they spend time with taxi drivers, just because they are actually getting something from them, whether it's airtime or whatsoever. And at the end of the day, this has become a pandemic. And that is why we have what we call blessers, and it's also some of the social ills that are faced by the schools. And I must say, back in 2016, we were busy doing training in Limpopo, and I was training students, and there I was minding my own business, doing what I have to do in class, and in front of me there was a learner who was pregnant, and it actually disturbed me. But because, when you're a professional, you need to continue past that. And I got to realize how big this actually is. And I mean, we're speaking to this in schools. You get to see learners that are pregnant, whereas this normally happens post-school, post-university, and in the world of work. So this has become a real issue. Yeah.
I had matriculants who had more than 10, who had kids. One of them had the second child, and at the end of the day, how do you give better results with a situation that looks like that? So this year I'm happy I don't have a pregnant one, unless if I didn't see it, unless if they are brewing it now during holidays. I'm calm.
That's the result.
That's the result.
So one of the big issues has been low roll enrollment because, as Salome has indicated, due to the lack of community engagement or involvement and so forth, substance abuse, it then led to low enrollment. Now, we're running out of time. So this is what we've done. We've had meetings with SMTs, SGBs, and so forth, grade 12 learner engagement, as well as a collaboration award ceremony for grade 6 to 7. Now that has been one of our biggest factors, in a sense, big impacts, in a sense that the low enrollment was on the basis that there was a high school right behind Bokamoso, which was taking all the good learners. Now we devised a plan which has worked, where we took 7 primary schools. We are a high school, so 7 primary schools. And what we did was started to award the grade 6s and grade 7s that were performing at level 7s, So in that way, it allowed for the community to take note of the fact that we are appreciating learners in primary schools. And therefore, if these learners are appreciated in primary schools by a high school, why not take those best learning learners into that high school?
Yeah, this has worked wonders. I've told you about the results that are down. Why the results are down, there is a secondary, as he said, next to me. And the recruitment system of the principal was good. He went to primary school and took all those level 7 to his schools. And the last ones who are level 2s came to my school. So we decided a plan to counter that. So those learners are in my school as we speak, and it worked wonders. These are the certificates that we gave to them, and I'm excited about that project. We're doing it again this year.
Yeah, and I mean, this would not have been possible had we not contracted the school management team. They were all involved, excited, and you can imagine when they got to see the result, how beautiful it was. So this is just some pictures of the awards that these learners were getting, and this is the day that we spent with them, and they are the learners, and we have one of the top students in the primary schools right there. We had grade 12 motivation. Please speak to that.
Okay, this is the actor from Generation, you know him. He came and motivated our learners, which went well, and learners were excited. Those are the pictures, that's all. And that's him, the queen is there and the king is there. And okay.
So these are plans that we still have in place that we will be doing, from now until 2022. And this is when we had to, start picking up the pieces when Salome unfortunately lost her son. And it wasn't an easy process for both of us. And in this process, we had to, start picking up the pieces. We went for marathons.
We went for marathon. We went for yoga. And hey, they picked me up. I'm so grateful with this. Look at me with a medal. I've been number 1, 5K.
And then these are just that's the finishing line. There she is. And then this is the team that was also there on the day with, and we say thanks to this team on the basis that we could not have gotten Salome to be back here had it not been for this family. So a wonderful family indeed, and we thank you very much for that. Benefits of the program to the school principal.
Benefits, I learned to listen more and talk less. I learned to contract, because sometimes we think people know what is expected of them because they have experience in the field without contracting. Now my SMT knows that we contract before we execute, so that if somebody falls back, they are held accountable. I've learned also how to involve the community. I've learned also how to do what?
Listening.
All right. Resistant change, away with it. So there is a lot of change in my school because of this program and the support. And there we are. Business partner?
It's no, it's you, me, partnership.
All right.
Yeah, so you talk.
Okay. Kamo, what did I take from him? I could take him as a pillar for external. External meaning outside the school, personally, because he is the one who picked me up with Kiki and Wendy. You fought for me to take me out of the hole. I was there. I didn't want to get out. I didn't want to go back to work because of losing a son. And Gamu fought. He fought and he was like, I'll drive you. And I'm like, no, I will come. And he could sense that I'm not coming. He came, they came, you came, all of you. And Benny, thank you so much. When I came for the first time, in the team partners, in this team, we know each other. Benny could sense, they gave us an activity where the facilitator was like, talk to your partner and tell your partner about your family. And I lost it. And Benny saw it. And he chipped in, and there was this person from Joburg. Benny was like, Salome, tell us why you became a teacher. And the guy was like, no, that was not the task. She's supposed to tell us about the family. And she's like, no, I want her to talk about this. Because he was like a lion. So I love this team, and I will always cherish this team for resuscitating me. You resuscitated me to come back to life, and I'm back. Not 100%, of course, because it's a roller coaster. It's still early. But I know you're there. You're a phone call away. Jerry, thank you for keeping me on. Because I was like giving up to say, I am not. And you and Kam were like, you're going. No ways we're going. So you fought. You didn't give me a space to breathe. And you don't know what you did. You brought this woman back. You brought this woman back. Thank you. There.
Yeah, she's a queen. So for me, as a business leader, I gained brothers and sisters, I gained confidants, I gained sounding boards. I mean, I went through a very difficult time as well in my life. I hardly speak about it. It was late last year, and I ended up in hospital and a whole lot of other things. Kiki knows everything on the basis that, when we have our sessions, you did say, we don't just speak about the partnership. We speak about a whole lot more than what is in the partnership. And you could bounce off ideas like, I'm thinking of doing this, and you would get a sense that, the person is using the skills that they've gained over the years with different boards of directors and so forth to just advise this minute person. And essentially, working together as a human race, we can essentially achieve more on the basis that we do have one common goal, which is to live in one better country than anybody else. And I believe through the time to think process, I've learned to shut up more and listen more. And thank you so much for multiple sounding boards. And my partner, she's a mother, she's a friend, she's another young Pinto. And essentially, she's a very stern person when it comes to what we need to achieve as a team. One, secondly, at school, they know how disciplined she is. She walks with these high heels, stilettos, 24/7. She doesn't get tired, and she's very patient. And we've gotten to know each other quite a lot. And over the past months, it has even become better than it was in the beginning. And as for the journey, it was a mountain to climb. That's one mountain we conquered, my brother and I. We intend on doing more. We're doing Kilimanjaro. All right. So it was a mountain to climb, but because when you get to the top of the mountain, you get to really appreciate the view. You get to appreciate the challenges that you have gone through. And in essence, there's a saying that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That single step, when you get onto that mountain, will lead you to greater things. So I've been motivated to succeed through this program and to achieve my goals, no matter what the challenges are. So I've gained friends, and they've taken me through to new business avenues. Wendy right there, she's also my president in BNI. It's legit. And through this Partners for Possibility, trust you me, I have grown. I've become innovative. I've gained a lot of trust in people, and I've gotten a lot of support and a whole lot of motivation. And thanks to this team.